Good afternoon. We are today at the Mountsorrel Parish Council, and I am talking to the parish manager, who I believe last year won the Parish Manager of the Year, that would be 2023. This is part of a series of conversations that we have been doing since last year with intention to talk to different members of the communities and different groups and different organizations that have got roles in those communities. In this case, which are, as I said, in Mountsorrel Parish Council. And the intention is really to get and bring to the community closer some of those services, in this case, for the Parish Council. So, good afternoon, Ross.
Good afternoon, Juan. Good afternoon.
Can you please introduce yourself, tell us what the role entails, and what are your main priorities within your role as parish manager, please?
Okay, thank you. And thank you for this opportunity to talk about being a parish manager and the parish council. I guess that I've been here 3 years now, and the role is that of Chief Executive Officer, really, CEO, not dissimilar to any council, even the very big councils, because the legal responsibilities are the same, believe it or not something I realised straight away. Of course, the size is very different. We're quite small. We have a budget just over £1 million, so it's quite significant. Some parish councils are much smaller. They have a budget of £2,000. So as parish councils go, Mountsorrel is quite a large parish council.
Yes.
But we have all the legal responsibilities. I have all the financial responsibilities. So I have to prepare the budgets, the accounts, the expenditure monthly for approval, ensure all the invoices are paid, the contractors are paid. So we deal with all the money, and that's my responsibility. Also responsible for all the staff. So we have 7 core staff in the council and another 35 staff running the Memorial Centre, which is the multi-purpose community centre and theatre that we have in Mountsorrel. So responsible for staff, recruitment, management, appraisals, all of that, employment, and all the problems that sometimes occur, of course. And then I'm responsible for all the buildings and land that we own or are responsible for. Mountsorrel has a lot of land. We have football fields and playing fields and parks. We have a cemetery. We have buildings. We're responsible for running the library and so on. So my responsibility is for all of those things as well, making sure they're run properly. So all of that, what goes with all of that are all the things of making sure that we have the money to operate the buildings, we've got the staff in place, that all the legislation is complied with, so all the health and safety legislation, all the employment law. So you have to be, as a parish manager, parish clerk, really quite a jack of all trades in some ways.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, yeah. Not on a big scale, which means that we don't have a personnel department, we don't have a finance department, we don't have a maintenance department. We have 1 or 2 staff to help with those. I'm the only full-time member of staff here, so the rest of the staff are part-time. So the parish manager ends up not just reporting and doing the strategy for all of this, but you have to actually do the work as well. So it's quite interesting.
One of the things that perhaps it will be helpful for you and me, who more or less know those functions, but I'm quite keen that for people who are going to be watching this, hopefully, to have a sense of what does a parish council do. So often we're thinking, it's all the council, and we probably heard that quite often. So it would be good to have briefly some of the main functions. You enumerate some of them with the parks and so on, but what would be the main functions that the parish council have?
Yes, we're very wide. The parish councils, all parish councils can do almost anything in their own parish. And obviously that's just Mountsorrel, we don't go beyond that. So we are the most local form of a local authority and closest to the people. But we are responsible, as I mentioned, for the library. So we took over the library from the county council last year, and we are responsible for recruiting volunteers, and we have a library volunteer coordinator whose salary we pay. So we open the library, make sure it works, we do events there. We run the cemetery in Mountsorrel, and we're responsible for ensuring people are buried there. The cemetery is looked after. We've got a number of sports and playing fields with cricket, football, dog training exercises. There's a cricket pavilion that goes with that as well. We've got 3 play areas for children. We're responsible for looking after those. We look after the Memorial Centre, which is our biggest project, which is a turnover of over £500,000 a year, which was built at the cost of £4.5 million. So it's a fantastic community venue which has shows, entertainment, conferences. We've got a cafe.
Wow.
All those things are going on there. We have Christmas lights that we switch on at Christmas. We have festivals on our parks in the summer. We do the Remembrance Parade, just like big councils do. We do all of those things in Mountsorrel. So we do a huge number of things. And also I'm responsible, of course, to advise the councillors as well.
Yes.
As well as all these things we're doing for the people of Mountsorrel, it's all run democratically by a group of councillors.
That was going to be my next question. You almost partly answered. Why do you think is important the role of a parish manager? And if you want, by extension, why it's important to have a parish council?
Yes, well, my role is I'm the chief advisor to the councillors, and also the person with the delegated authority to take decisions. So my role is we have council meetings once a month, full council, and we have committee meetings which councillors sit on. We've got 13 councillors, all elected from within Mountsorrel Parish itself, and they represent a wide range of people and interests. And so we have council meetings. I prepare papers which detail, what updates on progress for the projects, new initiatives, new staff we might be recruiting, and so on.
So I guess an interesting thing from that is, from the point of people who will be watching this, is that it's a democratically accountable body. The people are elected, the councillors that is, for the roles, then they deliver or help to deliver those services which have been, in theory, elected for, isn't it?
That's correct, absolutely. So the councillors are elected. We've got paid staff. In some ways, we set out. We've got a 3-year plan which sets out the priorities as agreed by the council, and the council monitors the implementation of those plans, and they sign off on new initiatives. They come up with ideas, of course. It's very much working together. So they will come up with ideas and ask me to investigate them. I will investigate, do the feasibility work, and bring back the costings, and we will see if we can do it or not. And I come up with ideas, and my staff do as well.
Yes.
We get ideas from members of the public, and we put those in and take those to council and have discussion. And this way we can take things forward and make a difference in the village.
That's an interesting thing then, because my next question was about how residents can get engaged and involved in the council. I know there's at least a couple of legal requirements that you have in which members of the public are involved or can be involved. But what are the main ways in which a normal resident, a local resident can get engaged?
Yes, Juan. Obviously the most detailed, or if you like, most involved way is to become a councillor, of course, and be elected. And then you are responsible and for the direction and the day-to-day operation of the council, really, in terms of the broad direction of the council. Councillors individually can't take decisions, but collectively they can instruct the staff and myself as the CEO, in effect, what to do. But we also have lots of opportunities for volunteers in the village. So, for instance, the library is run mostly by volunteers, and so the reason we're open, the times we are, is because we've recruited trained volunteers. At the Memorial Centre, we have volunteers, people joining in to help with the summer events, being ushers in the theatre, and so on. We have volunteers who help on Remembrance Day, so we work with the county council as well to close the roads. But the marshals, to make sure the cars don't come down the roads, are volunteers, local people. So very much parish council work is very much linked and integrated into the community, because a lot of what we do could not be achieved without the involvement of the local people, because we do not have a big workforce.
Of course.
So we rely very much on that. So we're working all the time. So I'll be going out and not just sitting in the office, but out and about quite often, talking to people, saying, well, do you know about this? And we advertise, and we use social media and so on. And we recruit people. So there's a presence of the council in the village, and people get involved. And we wouldn't be able to survive and do all the things we do without that local engagement, which is really, really effective.
Thank you. My final question is more at the personal level. With all this and different areas that involves being part of the parish council, and indeed being a parish manager, what is the most rewarding part of your job then?
Well, I think it's a good question. I think it's the opportunity to make a difference, as always, in all the public life I've been involved with throughout my whole lifetime in local government. It's the opportunity to make a real difference. We have resources, we've got links with local people, so we try to understand what it is that people want and what they need, and then we want to get those resources towards making those things happen and to make a difference. For instance, we did a survey and people said they wanted a new play area up at Halstead Road.
Yes.
And we've just opened it just before Christmas. It's a big investment, nearly £200,000. It's probably the biggest and best play area ever in Mountsorrel. And it was already being used fully as almost the day after it opened. So that's based, so that makes a real difference. You can do things at a parish council level to help with what's happening. We also provide advice and signpost people, so from one extreme, like building a new play area, just to people coming to the door or picking up the phone and saying, how do we get to the food bank? Because we also facilitate a food bank in Mountsorrel. Or even dealing with people at times of crisis when we can signpost them to the county or to Charnwood or citizens' advice and so on. So people know us, so they often come to us first for help. So
it's very varied and it's got a lot of different areas that people can engage with and so on. So I think that's all for me. Thank you very much for that. I think it offers a very good picture of your role, of the role of the parish council as such, and indeed the chance if people wanted to get engaged in many different shapes and forms. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.